So when I was 22, I decided to ditch my plans for law school and check out the entertainment industry. I just needed to know if it was for me. So I left school, said goodbye to my family in small town Sault Ste. Marie, Canada. Yes, they were having a heart attack. And bought a one-way ticket to LA. I didn't know anyone, but I didn't care. I knew it's what I needed to do. That's where I met the Souser family. I was hired by a nanny agency to do babysitting work for them. We clicked immediately. I just fell in love with them. They became my LA family. If I ever needed anything, I called them. And trust me, their phone rang. I was just a kid, right? And broke and alone. Fast forward 22 years later. I spent 11 of those years in LA, then spent a few years in Victoria, BC, and then settled into beautiful Collingwood, Ontario. Life has moved on. Marriage, children, divorce. The Sousers and I always kept in touch. They were a part of my tribe. But you know how it is. We could go years without seeing each other or even talking, but no matter what, there was always that connection. And I knew we were always there for each other. Last year, January 27, 2016, I saw a post on Facebook from Andy, the husband. He was pleading for his wife's life. Randy had a genetic kidney disease, the very same one that killed her father when she was only 2. Now, both of her kidneys were failing, and she needed a new kidney. The doctors at UCLA told her she had 1 month to a year to find one. That had been 3 months prior. Because it was a genetic disease, nobody in her family qualified, and her husband was on medication, so he couldn't help. My God, like my heart sank. I had no idea. Time was running out, and Randy was dying. I needed to help her. I knew I could. In my mind, I knew I was the person to do this. I had spent my entire life taking excellent care of my health and my body. Like, what better way to make use of that? So right away, I called up Andy, and I'm like, Andy, oh my God, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you ask me? And he was like, what? I'm like, yeah, of course. I've got 2. She can have one of mine. So he referred me to the UCLA website where I had to officially apply to be a donor, be assigned a coordinator, and then begin the process of determining if I was eligible. Only 17% of all people who apply to be donors actually get accepted. So while I was waiting to hear back from my coordinator, I spent hours and days doing as much research and learning as much as I could. Yes, I wanted this to happen, but it also had to be good for me, my kids, and my life. So as I had expected, if you're healthy, and they only accept extraordinarily healthy people, you can live a very happy, healthy, and long life with only 1 kidney. As a matter of fact, most kidney donors live longer than the average population. Maybe it's because we're healthier in the first place. Or maybe it's because doing something good makes you happier, therefore live longer. So I really trusted UCLA. They had a great world-renowned reputation. I felt safe with them. So my decision was made up. As long as my family was okay with this, I was going to do it. So I proceeded to share my decision with the people I love. Giving them as much information I could, putting their minds at ease, making sure I had their support. All the people in my life rock, like truly. Even if they were afraid, they knew I would never make such a big decision on gut feeling alone. Yes, my gut may have prompted this, but I substantiated that knowing with thorough research, caring, and a highly competent team of medical professionals. So the first round of tests came back. Yes, we were a match. I couldn't believe it. Of course, I knew it was going to happen, but I was so excited. Randy was going to get my kidney, and then she would be healthy again, maybe healthier than ever. We would be like sisters. In fact, we were such a match, as close as sisters. The only way we could have been closer is if we were twins. I know, pretty cool. I do want to point out, though, that I had already decided that even if I wasn't a match, I would still give one of my kidneys so that Randy would have one. They have what's called a paired kidney exchange program. Basically, it's like an organ pool where I give my kidney, whoever that matches, they get, and then Randy gets one. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so enter May 11th, 2016, 5 a.m., UCLA Medical Center. two of the strongest and most competent medical teams in all of North America, surgical teams in all of North America. Two patients who had traveled a long journey of 22 years alongside and apart from each other, soon to be sharing more than an organ. Side by side, we were doing it. No part of this day could have happened without every single player playing their part. I knew I was exactly where I needed to be. I knew we would ace this. I would go back to my kids in Canada, and Randy would go back to saving people's lives as a cardiac critical care nurse. And we did. We aced it. We were rock stars. As a matter of fact, the surgeon who put my kidney into Randy came over after the procedure to introduce himself. He said, "I just have to meet the owner of this superstar kidney." No, I'm serious. Listen, apparently, my kidney started working before he had even finished putting it in. It was like it just needed to get to work. Yeah, classic Volpe, yeah. Anyway, it was really cool. So this is our kidney. Yeah. I asked him to video the procedure or to let me watch it live, but I had asked too late. Next time. So I got home. I was only in the hospital for 2 nights, and Randy was there for about 6 or 7. Here we are the day she got home from the hospital. Less than 3.5 months earlier, I heard my friend was going to die. But we didn't let that happen. Excuse me. We all came together and made this happen instead. Now Randy is working long 12-hour shifts as a nurse at a hospital, walking 5 miles a day and doing yoga. Truly amazing. What I have learned from this entire experience is we need each other. Randy needed me. Her family, her friends, and the entire surgical team could not have done this without me. I was one small but necessary part of this much bigger machine. So I'm not here to say you should go out and donate a kidney. Of course, if you can and you want to, go for it, like it'll change your life forever. But what I am saying is there are tons of things that we can be doing and we can be sharing. The point is, we cannot do this alone on a micro and a macro level. We have gone too far on insisting on this independence. It's like this hyper-independence from infancy to elderly. We've become obsessed with it, and it's a faulty system. Even when we try to force independence, our natural need, our natural desire, and our natural wiring drives us to come together. According to the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History, coming together is what has supported us over millions of years to withstand and survive challenges and life-threatening situations. Maybe that's why I had a second healthy kidney, so I can ensure Randy's survival and therefore ensure the survival of her future patients. We all have something that someone else does not have, something that can support our tribe if we choose to. You know, maybe you live next to an overwhelmed single parent and you can offer to mow her lawn for a day or for the season. You know, maybe you can make some homemade meals or share your leftovers with someone who's elderly or alone. You know, maybe you've got an extra room in your house to rent out to accommodate this rental shortage. Hey, if you like to walk dogs, offer to walk your friend's dog. You know, there are so many things we can do. These things may not seem like big things to you because you have them, but for the person who doesn't, they are huge. What do you have 2 of that maybe you don't need, but someone else does? What can you share starting today? If you're lucky, maybe you too can be one small but very necessary part of a much bigger magical machine. I hope so.